You're watching GTV, and now it's time for this morning's edition of Children's GBC with your presenter, George Brind. I wonder where he is at right now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Children's GBC. My name is George Brind, and I will be your presenter. We've got lots of great programmes coming your way, and our first one is The Adventures of Spot, in which it's going to be a windy day.
Spot, Spot, a lovable Spot. He's soft and cuddly and he smiles a lot. If there ever was a pup to cheer you up, it's Spot, Spot, Spot. That's Spot.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this particular episode of The Adventures of Spot. Incidentally, as you can see, I'm in a different location. I'm in George Buxton's place rather than my own, because I am here filming productions that I'm doing with him at this very moment, not unlike this particular morning's edition of Children's GBC. And so the next programme now, we go over to those two catastrophe-prone brothers from Rotherham, Paul and Barry Chuckle. Yep, you guessed it, it's time for the Chuckle Brothers, it's time for Chuckle Vision, and in today's episode they're going to be dealing with audible inventions. To me, to you, to me, to you.
To me. Yours?
And don't forget that there'll be more fun with the Chuckle Brothers coming up later on this afternoon. So coming up next though, it's Rosie and Jim, and I'm sure George Brind will explain what the episode is. Carry on singing.
And our next programme is Rosie and Jim, and today, John Cunliffe, our narrowboat driver, has run out of food, so it's up to him to go to the supermarket to fix that problem. Will Rosie and Jim manage to help in any way, or are they going to be as mischievous as they always have been and try and do their own thing? Well, you'll see for yourself in today's episode of Rosie and Jim.
Jim! Rosie!
Rosie and Jim, chugging along on the old rag doll. Rosie and Jim, and John he steers the boat. We go to play and have a look.
The end.
If you like rag dolls, in this case Rosie and Jim, then you'll love our next programme, Tots TV. And much like Spot the dog, they have to deal with a very windy day. The question is, how are Tilly, Tom and Tiny going to cope with this windy day? Well, you'll see for yourself. This is Tots TV. And our next programme is about that lovable superhero. In this case, forget Superman, this is Super Ted. And today, he and the Spotty Man have to deal with the case of the crystal ball.
This is a story about an ordinary teddy bear. When he was made, they found something wrong with him.
And our next programme is all about that lovable Austin Clifton Heavy 12.4 vintage car. It is indeed a gumdrop, and today he is going on the rally, a story which my mother remembers reading as a little girl. And I hope you enjoy this story too as much as she and I do. And now it's time for another set of episodes from a series I've made myself, Sodor Railway Tales, based on the Railway series books by His Reverence Wilbert Awdry and his son, Christopher. You remember how at the end of Thomas and the Breakdown Train, Thomas rescued an engine called James? Well, these stories that you're going to be seeing today are all about that particular engine, James the Red Engine. So, well, let's see how he does in his stories all about him. And our final programme for this morning on Children's GBC is Tugs. And today's episode is called Regatta.
The tugboat, for its size, is the most powerful craft afloat. And the star tugs are the power behind the docks and waterways that make up the big city port. This is Tugs.
And that brings us to the end of our programmes here for this Tuesday morning on Children's GBC. We hope you enjoyed them, and be sure to look out for more coming this afternoon with George Buxton as your presenter. In the meantime, I've been George Brind, and I hope to see you again very soon. This coming Friday, in fact. Goodbye.
You're watching GTV. And so, after we've had a lot of films throughout the summer holiday, well, it's time for one last film to finish off the summer holiday. And because we're going to be having our Disney Pixar film, Cars. And I'd like to point out that this film contains flashing images, which is a bit unsuitable for viewers for those who have photosensitive epilepsy.